that picture of like working independently on a beach or in a beautiful garden, but instead I was staring into the Texas sun beating down on me. it wasn't everything that it was meant to be.
I'm not outside because the particulate index, according to my citizen science monitor, is dangerous, unhealthy for everyone. Smoke.
I saw that again today there, Lauren. Yeah, you're in that red. Like you and I,
Yeah.
I'm a bit like orangish in this
Yeah.
parts. Like you're
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, wow. Good evening. It is Thursday one more time, and August 10th, 2017. This is our Wikispeed HighFive stand-up. Let's get started. So can everybody see me? I think so. All right. So what did we get done last week in Linwood? Quite a lot, actually. We had some visitors, guests from Sweden, and we were able to get card number 7 back up and running. Steering, full, everything. Even doing a little dust rooster tails in the now new larger parking lot, and possible little miniature racetrack test track. So it'll be excellent. Right now it's built for dirt, but it'll be eventually paved is the goal. But we might be slating that for next year in terms of what's available in our sprints as well as financial backlog. Maybe we'll see. We'll get it sooner. Let's promote the crap out of Team Wikispeed Consulting. Next major items. We did a lot of house cleaning, Joe and I. We took apart the car trailer box that was under a tarp. We hacked it up into pieces and put it in there. Some of the older carbon fiber pieces. Also, we threw it in the pile. A lot of the foam molds that we're going to go ahead and give up as well. It has lived its useful life, and we had gotten a mold from it. So fortunately, at this time, it's opportunity cost and also space, which is a real scarcity, and may actually start out to be too as well. The next items that we're going to start doing is actually we probably will be doing a composite for the inner tub mold. We have a car that's outside, car number 1, and in case car number 4 needs to go outside as well, if and when once this mold does get created, it's going to be just a clear cover for it. Hopefully, I think it's either going to be clear or it's going to be that white carbon fiber looking thing, and it's probably just going to be a cover. It's so that we can weather test what our covers could look like and function wise if we need to store the vehicles outside. And of course, we'll iterate from there, because who knows, this is Pacific Northwest, and parts of the world there's outdoor weathers that may come. Blocks. The other items that we're going to do is actually launch the website, which I think Chris Wallace will get into a little later after our stand-up and retro. It'll be exciting. Blocks, there might be some blocks, I think, and I'll see more about that in a little bit. One of the blocks that I think I have is that I want to try to keep the site clean and also easy to navigate. And we welcome the feedback of, when we want to try to stray away from having too many links to go to different pages as far as loading. Ideally, we want to use anchor links to actually jump to different parts of the main page, so that way it minimizes the amount of loading that we need to have. And so in some ways we'll actually prioritize what's the highest item that we want people to see at the top. So those are some of the possible blocks that we think that we may have. That's it for me. Who would like to go next?
This is Lauren Salter, Gabriel Island, British Columbia. And I did not, I can't really think of anything I did. Oh, yeah, I did think it was after our meeting. No, I didn't do anything this week, except I got rid of some personal blocks, so count that. And what I did was I'd been training for this 10K race on this island. It's called the Brickyard Beast, And so I'm wearing my medal for finishing the race, which is a running shoe, which is also a bull's head, a kind of minotaur with horns. And so I did that, and I ran it faster than I did last year, and I had less weight on than I did last year. So happy with that. Coming week, I'm going to carry on, and actually may have done some of this week with Git and Tortoise Git. And I did actually look at some more at the gigantic Wikipedia page on open source and proprietary accounting software. It's got a giant grid, so it takes some time to go through it. So that was another thing I did, and I'm going to do more of the same this week. No particular plans. Blocks are the smoke. I really like to get out and run, but it's not easy. And I was out for half a day doing an errand in town, and it just totally knocked me out. So anyway, that's so the blocks are the smoke, and the usual kind of personal chores that I'd like to get ahead on more, so I can devote more to my creative things such as Wikispeed. That's it for me.
Thank you, Lauren. And yes, the smoke can be an impediment. And my apologies. This is William Lewing, and I am at the Linwood, Washington shop. Who would like to go next?
Mike can go next if you guys can hear me. Yep, okay. Michael Wolchuk, Saskatoon. I got a couple things done this week. The Mazda has an emergency disconnect mounted inside the car and in under the hood. I took a couple of pictures and sent those out. The EVs, the Polaris EVs, are having trouble with more corrosion. I couldn't even get a switch to switch it into, yes, I'd like to go forward. I think the rest of the controller and the signals are fine. It just, switch is so dirty it won't even close. I am in the process of getting some tools that are used to clean electrical contacts in industry and furnishing tools. And I've ordered some more pins for the connectors so that if I have to, I can replace some of the pins. And next week, I will be doing more of the same, working on battery pack, charging, testing chargers, that sort of stuff. And I have one block, and that block is that I need a way to troubleshoot the corrosion in the system. I may actually have to make a little box that plugs directly into the controller that gives it all the signals that it needs so that I can tell whether it's one of the switches, the cable harness, or the controller that's giving me trouble. And that's about it for this part, I think. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, Michael. Thank you, Michael.
Okay.
Any potential blocks? Or maybe you have mentioned that, I'm sorry. Was it the corrosion?
Yeah, I listed a block as not being able to troubleshoot the corrosion, and well, maybe we can do a little bit of crosstalk on that.
Sounds good. Thank you, Michael. All right. Who would like to go after Michael?
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, Bruce, thank you.
Oh.
Okay.
I just got a military volunteered, so let's do this. Okay, so I am Chris Wallace. I'm the product owner of the Wikispeed Burleson, Texas, USA microfactory. And because this was a previous process improvement, I'm going to bore you all with a reading from the Agile Manifesto. So what have I chosen today? Okay. At regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. So that's where Scrum got its retrospective from, and I think that our HighFive meetings and Wikispeed definitely do that. So last week, I think I started off. I had a hangout with William to finalize the details for the new website launch. We had several things we needed to work out, a lot of questions, opportunities for discussion. Then I installed and configured the Pinpoint booking plugin on the production website. And then I installed the Edge 1 theme on the production website. That will actually not be configured until launch because I didn't want to alter the current website. I didn't want to bring it down to do any of that. And it will not take very long. I added terms and conditions to the booking plugin and the booking page. I made it finally made it back to the Burleson Microfactory today and caught up on rent, which was very important for the landlord. And then while I was there, I went ahead and assembled the Harbor Freight parts bin, which was very sweaty work. I shared that on Slack with the team. It's actually pretty fun though, so pretty much enjoyed that part of the day. When I got back, I ordered and paid for the freight for Rob Morbauker's interior module to get shipped from Maryland to the Burleson shop. So they say 3 days. I scheduled it for a Monday pickup. So hopefully on this meeting next week, at the very least, the interior module will be at the shop. And if everything goes super awesome, it'll actually be in car number 11. And what else did I do? This seems a little minor after all the rest of that. But I did send to Slack. I updated the team on the progress on the 3D printer that will eventually live. I say here in the Burleson Microfactory, but it's a little dusty in there, and I kind of fear that might affect the quality. So it might actually live on my computer desk here, and then parts get transported. So for next week, this has actually happened today. So this is not next week. My notes are fouled. Configure the PayPal info for the booking plugin actually happened just moments before the call. So next week, we are going to launch the new website that will either happen likely tonight or at the latest tomorrow night. Once that happens, I plan on marketing the new website consulting services on all social media that's available through Wikispeed and my personal accounts. Hopefully, we'll receive the interior module and be able to do some work with that. More than likely, go through some iterations on the new site once it's launched, based on what we learned and a few things that we already wanted to get into it. A lot with kind of what William was saying with maybe changing up the menu structure and having too much bulky information in the background. I also, because I still feel this is sort of a valuable feature, I'm going to begin testing a new membership plugin. I have one in mind. I think I know how to port what we have to that and hope that it will take care of some of the issues that we have with the current membership plugin. And so last but not least, I really need to get the bird down spreadsheet, which was shared on Trello. I really need to figure out how it works. Just because it adds a lot of value to be able to predict and share with the stakeholders when a product could be released. So in fact, again, last but not least, that probably should have been higher up my list. It tried to get on the list this week, but it didn't quite make it. The only blocks I have right now, actually, Sorry if y'all bear with me. I just needed to delete something else I typed there. It was already done. I need a little more info on Linwood, Washington's sales tax rate and what is considered taxable and not. I found some documents on that, and just my preliminary research says that coaching services are not taxable. However, I'm going to research that further and see if that's the case or not for Linwood, Washington. I've run into this in other locations as well. What is taxable, what isn't taxable when it comes to services. So it's kind of a block right now, but that we'll say forthcoming there. And I believe that leaves you, Bruce.
All right. Well, had a pretty good week. I found all those finite element analysis videos and posted those out to the group. It sounds from Joe's reaction that we're probably not going to be making heavy use of that, but if we need to do some major testing of some sort, we can do that. I seem to be going in and out of focus for some odd reason. Probably not light enough in here. A little more lumens there. And yeah, it was interesting to see that his reaction to the FEA tool was the same as mine, which was, oh my God, this is really, great if you're a high-speed engineer, but, not for actual mortals. So still on the hunt for something like that. And during that, I found that video that I posted out to the group today about the guy building the Lotus. And I'm going to continue down that road. I'm going to be looking on some of those enthusiast sites and seeing what other people are using for that, and maybe we can come up with some answers. I suspect he probably knows the state of the art for open source stuff, but you just never know. And there might be, since he's solved some of these problems, maybe we can leverage some of that if we decide that we want to do that. But I think for, doing the test first or certainly, well, not test first, but, continual integration style work that we want to do with FEA analysis, we need something that's point and click and that's fast, that doesn't take a lot of time because the overhead's going to kill us. So, it is what it is. Apart from that, I had some conversation with Joe about Wikispeed consulting. It's looking pretty good. He and I talked about the Train the Trainer, and he indicated that he might be scheduling one pretty soon if he wants to. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. It was a little bit short notice, so it may wait until February, which would be unfortunate because I need that to get on board unless he wants to do something special for me. So there's that, and there was arrangements for coming to the expo at the end of September, which I'm really looking forward to. So part of what I'm doing is trying to figure out if we're going to do the Train the Trainer or consecutively with that. Obviously, I'll have to change my travel plans. If not, then it'll be a one and done there, and I need to make my travel arrangements accordingly. So that's it from me for this week. For next week, and I worked on the shop some more and got some more tools dug out and starting to clean those up. So things are starting to round into shape for the shop as well, which is good. I have not had any headway on finding a larger shop that I can open up to other people yet. So that's a big block for me, is that I'm kind of hitting brick wall on that. It's expensive out here, so I've either got to find a sugar daddy, or I need to find somebody who's willing to rent a space for cheap, because I'm not finding that yet. So for next week, I'm going to continue to look for that. I'm also going to continue to work on the shop, and continue to look at videos and other enthusiast sites and go down that road for the analysis stuff, because I'm very curious about that end of things, especially with the bolted chassis, since that doesn't have the analysis done on it. If that's the way I'm going to build my car, my personal car, I want to make sure it's just as safe as the welded one. Blockers, I seem to be coming down with a cold. Either that or the allergies around here are getting really bad, but I don't normally have fever. So, yeah, 90 degrees with fever is no fun. So, I'm not going to be overexerting myself over the weekend. Hopefully it'll go away. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Bruce. We're going to chalk it up as allergies, and that it's just going to pass. Although
Let's hope so.
we do encourage you to rest well. And I like that shirt, by the way. I really do.
Oh, thank you.
I believe that wraps up for our stand-up. Unfortunately, I did miss out one part. My apologies, as well as rambled on a bit in my stand-up, which was the Trello burn down. Correct me if I'm wrong. For the Trello burn down, is that it's a power-up, and that I need to toggle up the power-up, which I did, and I think it's good for 30 days for this time trial until further notice, and they'll start charging me. And then in the burn down for Trello, which is this separate app that's kind of like a plugin for Trello, it says upgrade to the full for the whether the board tracks hours or points. And I'm reluctant because it's not really beautifully created or well written. I mean, we're building a better web page than what that looks like right now. Not that burn down for Trello is bad, but I want to give you money. I want to see more marketing for it. So, anyways, that wraps up for our stand-up. For next week, we're going to make sure that the burn down for Trello works and works well. I'll provide and shoot out some more demos accordingly in the next couple of days, if not by next week. Moves us forward onto our retrospective. Which I believe there's 5 of us, and I can start inputting in some values. I rate myself happiness-wise. I want to give myself a 9. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm pretty happy with what we've been doing this last week at a distributed level and also at a team level. There is a little bit room for better planning. I've noticed that personally, some of the planning has been conflicting in terms of different projects. Yes, we know, but we do shift from different projects when we can, not necessarily focus on multiple ones at once. For the team, also a 9. I think we can do a much better job helping each other out. I've noticed that I fall into the pitfalls of communicating with texts and Slack as well, where I just need to pick up the phone and like, hello. Let's answer some of those questions immediately. Whereas I'm texting back Slack and I'm doing something else that's currently being done as well, like maybe rewiring a cable for the card number 7 that came out. So I'm sure other people have done that, but for now I will attest and admit to my own shortcomings. So I give myself and the team 9s. Unfortunately, also I don't have a process improvement. I'll dig through what we have from last week and we will find something to put in place. That's attempt to recount from who we're proceeding next. I believe, Lauren, you are up.
Yep.
Okay.
This is Lauren. I give myself a 3 because I keep remembering things. I started to check out how to set up a GitHub repository for another project, a writing project I'm on, but in my estimation, there's more open source cred for GitHub right now than there is for SourceForge because of some things SourceForge did. So I'm looking into that, and maybe next project I'll do the repository on GitHub. Look into getting us a repository or a place on GitHub, so that's a 3 for me, 10 for the team. And as Michael was talking about the corrosion, there's one, I want to talk to him on the crosstalk about that because I just got a hot glue gun. So I'm having fun with it. And also it's relevant maybe to a repair on corrosion, things like that. But the other thing that came to me, and I don't know if this is a process improvement, I think it might be. I am thinking of Kalashnikov, who built a gun, who built a rifle that spread across the world because it can be in the dirtiest mud and grit and it never jams. So one kind of engineering goal, I know Wikispeed is a high performance car that would be best kept extremely clean and like for racing and things like that. But even for, say, things like, depending on the race, if it's a 24-hour race, it may be that something that's more grit and dirt resistant is better than something that's higher tech but more delicate. So I am thinking about if that could be a something to think about and a process improvement to make the car like a Kalashnikov, that it's grit and dust and thing resistant. So that's my idea, and that's it for me. I think, yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Lauren. And his proposition, Lauren, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you're proposing that we build a Wikispeed car like the Kalashnikov, which is really resilient to dirt and all types of weather and seasons. Michael, I believe you are next.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. I'm going to give myself a 9. I did some stuff on my list. I added a bunch of stuff to my list, and I still didn't get to the bottom of it. So I'm not going to give myself a 10. And 9.5 for the team. And I do not have a process improvement this week. And that's about it for me.
Very good. Thank you, Michael. And Chris, I believe you're up next.
Improved Master 5000. So I'm actually going to go with this. I'm going to go with a 10 for me, except for the fact that I actually, in my last week part, had intended on demoing some things to go along with that people could look at and then participate in. So I'm still going to give myself a 10 because we will get to that in crosstalk. I'm also going to go with a 10 for the team for a couple of reasons. One, as some of the stories came up on Trello, Michael in particular and some other team members fully participated in the discussion and knocked out the blocks and got us to done. So really, I'm still amazed and so thrilled that so many people continue to do this every week just for fun. Because that's really what it is, right? We do this because we think it is awesome. So definitely a 10 for the team. My process improvement, I do love Lauren's. The reason that the AK, as they call it, is better is because it has such low tolerances, which you never think that would be a design advantage. But lower tolerances, more dirt can fit in it, right? But my actual process improvement is if everyone on the team could just tell a friend or a stranger or whoever about Wikispeed this week. It kind of leans more towards my let's relentlessly market Wikispeed consulting this week. So just if you run across the opportunity this particular sprint, just tell people what you're doing and why you're here. And that wraps it up for me.
Cool. I'm going to give myself a 7 this week because I was not as proactive on getting out there and trying to find the location that I need to get. I kind of got a little spooked and just said, yeah, I'm having an introvert week. So, it happens. So I'm going to work on that. The team, definitely a 10. I mean, I've seen a lot of activity, a lot of good stuff, and, we're seeing a lot of cross support, which is really good. I'm seeing activity on Slack. I'm seeing activity in Trello. I'm seeing activity on these calls. Great videos of things like cars putting out plumes of dirt in the parking lot, which is, inspirational. So I will have to second Chris's, talk about Wikispeed out with people who are unaware of it. I think that's a real important thing we can do, and it's certainly easy enough to talk to some people about that and get the word out there. So, the team gets a 10. I'm going to take a 7, and that's it for me.
Thank you very much, Bruce. And shame on me for typing and tracking all that down instead of just paying attention and listening. If there's a auto dictation software and app, I would love to get on hands on that right now, but no. As people were giving out their in seconds of their process improvement, I've been typing that out and tracking numbers. So, pardon me for that. Excellent.
Well,
Thank you,
don't
Bruce.
worry too much about it because I'm one of my personal improvements is I'm trying to look at the camera more because I find that I'm actually camera shy was looking at some of the videos earlier and going, why are you looking down all the time? And so I'm trying to stare Sauron right in the eye while I'm talking so I don't see the other screen, so you can like run out of the room for all I care.
All right, thank you. Well, very good, Bruce. Thank you very much. That brings us our average to, for the team, has been a constant improvement from, I want to say, this was like maybe 12 weeks ago, 12 weeks ago, it was a 9.5 average, up to now 9.7. When we're at one point, we were topped out at 10 out of 10. It was amazing. And now our personal improvements have fluctuated up and down a bit, now to 7.6. And it's also been looking really, really good. We're started out at 6.5 and it's been steadily going up. And that's all vote on what the two types of process improvements that we have. Number one, proposed by Lauren, which is the AK style of Wikispeed car, they're able to withstand dirt, mud, etc., the elements. And then B, promote the Wikispeed consulting. Does anyone have any questions on what we're voting on? Please speak now.
I'm busy helping my wife, so I'm going to go with the AK
Okay.
one.
All right. Thank you, Lord. I hope that doesn't anchor. And then the rest of the team, I think you've all made your decisions. Please don't change or deviate from that. And on a count of 1, 3, 2, 1, give me your vote, please, with your hand sign. Okay. I'm sorry, Lauren. It's 4-1. So we're gonna go with 2. But we did. And we also did save what we have. So we have another process improvement for next week to use, and which is great because there are weeks where we don't have a process improvement
For voting.
Correct. Yes.
I just want to point out that I actually love Lauren's idea, and the only reason that I did not vote for it is because that's the way I always look at building car number 11. I think that a lot of times that's sort of the way we deal with it. So I felt that evangelizing about Wikispeed in general was slightly more important than building a car based on those concepts.
Well, I think that the a weatherproof, waterproof, soldier-proof, whatever, falls into possibly the pickup truck version, which I've seen a lot of people requesting, and that's certainly a doable thing. But I'm not sure as a weekly process improvement, it's compact enough. I support the idea enthusiastically, and I think it's a really great notion. But I think talking to people about Wikispeed will help that happen. So that's going to be number 1, with the other suggestion as a close second.
Fantastic. So that wraps up our retrospective, and that moves us forward to crosstalk. Who would like to go first on something that they want to discuss?
Can you tell a little more about the expo? What's going to happen? And I saw the itinerary, but obviously that's the official itinerary.
Yes.
So for those of us on the inside, is there anything special, or is there anything we're going to be helping out with? Are we going to be doing hot laps in the car? Or,
Yes, ideally will be hot laps in the car. If we want to go into a little more detail, a little more of an appetizer of what's to come. So the expo ideally would be at Pacific Raceway. We're going to check in with our connection there to see if there's a good amount of time during those days, and ideally, I believe one of those days. And if they are doing something on the track, that would be fun. We would just kind of tail in at the end, and we would be taking our cars out on the track to test it out and see how well do they handle. Ideally, some of us may be able to ride shotgun. I'm actually opting myself out. I'm okay this time. I'm okay, and I will allow someone else to. I want to provide and share that experience with someone else when the professional race car drivers will be driving our cars, whichever one that happens to show up with us at the racetracks. That would be most excellent and fantastic. We would love to give as much video and demos as possible for that.
How many cars are we expecting?
Currently, I believe we have one thus far. We are hoping to get maybe one more. That would be at least a double the improvement from what we had last year. Last year was a very fast-paced, put-together thing. This year, I think by the end of the month, we need to start putting more of the details into action and seeing where we are at and what we need. I know that a lot of our current lives right now, there's a lot of shifting landscapes that's happening. So we'll keep our fingers crossed so that we can continue on forward with some of our expo projects.
Okay. Are we going to be filming a lot and putting this out on YouTube as a promotional thing? Just as kind of an extension of our next week's improvement?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
I think there are some videos of us on the track and driving and from different angles, from either a GoPro and or phone from last year's. Feel free to take any of that, or even I think I might even still have some of the raw materials, the raw footage that is. If you want to take that to put together some type of promotion, let us know. We're happy to share that.
Cool.
I wish there was a better cloud storage I could store it so it doesn't compress. I know YouTube compresses them, and so the Dr. Justice. So the material is going to be a little different than the raw footage.
I have one question. I think I maybe know the answer, but what is the proposed date for the WS Expo 2017?
Very good question. I want to say the proposed date is September 30th. 30.
September 30th. Right. So I want to be there so bad, and I already have an obligation that day. Like, I could totally be there the 29th or the 31st, but I'm going to try to work this out. I told my daughter a year ago that I would take her to a very specific concert on the 30th, but I might be able to find a proxy me to go to the concert with her.
Oh no, Chris! A year ago? Oh my gosh!
I don't want to have to do that, but it might be possible.
For you, we could have an encore on the Friday or the Monday before, a pre-core or an encore. We'll make it work.
Like I'm saying, the only reason I bring that up is like this is really a conflict for me, and I don't know the answer yet. So we will call that to be determined, and we will work to iterate on this one.
Okay. Yeah. There is only also 30 days in September, so the 1st. October 1st?
Well, yeah, okay.
Or,
I didn't do the knuckle count before I said that.
See, the knuckle count. That comes in handy.
You hold stuff with your car?
Yeah.
I think I do with my hands. It's a no-go.
Yeah, that's kind of no-go. I hope my car is okay, though. She smells a little clutchy.
They do that.
They do.
So we will give that to them.
Yes. Any other crosstalk items?
Lauren wanted to talk about something, but I don't see Lauren back yet.
No, I'm here.
Go for it,
okay.
Lauren.
Yeah, it was a couple of things. One is the Bitcoin. Is the Bitcoin ready? I just spent a bunch of my Bitcoins on a GoPro knockoff, but I might have enough to buy something and test the site. Buy something Wikispeed.
At $3,400 a coin, you spent some Bitcoin. Like, I hope this is like a shipment of GoPros knockoffs.
Oh, sorry, I didn't say an amount.
Oh,
I just had like $30. I spent.
Okay.
I only have $55 in my wallet. I spent $30, and it was GoPro knockoffs. It was actually $100, but I'm spending between $100. And go ahead.
I don't think it's going to fall over. Oh shit! Sorry, guys.
Oh.
I hope Lilchak's okay.
Lauren, to answer your question, I remember from a few weeks ago you wanted to buy a T-shirt. So if my math in front of people is correct, you have 25 Bitcoin dollars left. we can totally buy you a Wikispeed T-shirt. And also to answer your question is that there are 2 item or user stories above getting the new Bitcoin plugin to work. So as of this week, no, we do not have Bitcoin. I suspect that 2 weeks from now we will.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps, but there's already been a lot of back end research. We know exactly how we're going to go about it, but it is not done yet.
Right. Okay. The other thing is, let's see, on the sales tax thing. For some of that, if somebody's buying something, this is a question, general question. If somebody's buying something from Wikispeed, is it not the location that they're in that you have to calculate I'm talking about something like a T-shirt that's sent to them. Is it the tax in there where they live rather than the source of the thing?
So my answer to this is that 3 to 5 years ago, that is absolutely correct, but that there's been a lot of changes to this. So it really has to do with where the product originates now and not where it's ending up. Because a lot of municipalities felt like they were kind of getting duped on getting their normal sales tax once the the internet sales became the easiest way to get something.
Right.
So at this point, you should always look at it from where the product is originating, not from where it's ending up. But again, that also boils down to each municipality has their own set of rules on what they consider sales taxable and what they don't. And sometimes it actually requires a discussion with the comptroller because, I mean, you can find everything you want in writing, but sometimes you actually have to talk to the person in charge of it.
Right. Okay. Thanks.
I believe I read something very similar when I was reading The Everything Store, Jeff Bezos' biography at Amazon. And of course, that was a big deal for Amazon. And they were making the same case that now it's where the good originated. So Amazon pays tax in Washington for you. Whatever you buy on Amazon, you pay Washington sales tax, I believe. That's the upshot I remember.
Okay, so I want to make the observation that I ordered some things on Amazon, and here in Canada, in the province of British Columbia, you see this. There's a value-added tax called the GST, and you see that on the bill, whether it's coming from the U.S. or wherever, and. What happened is I used to be able to get electronics just fine. I ordered 3 pieces of electronics, and 2 of them said cannot ship to my location, which is the whole province, because this province is the odd one out. There was a vote to change the value-added tax here and not in any other province. So some of the vendors, such as in California, are saying, forget it, we won't send there because we can't figure out the tax. So I had to spend 45 minutes on the phone with Manila, and they found me equivalent products that would ship here. So that's kind of...
Really, as a seller, if you err on the side of charging the tax and paying the municipality, they are totally okay with that, and they're not going to dispute it. But if you err on the side of not paying them, you might run into some fines at the end of the year. So, I mean, I don't think it's a horrible idea. Again, you have to deep dive sometimes and read what they've written in their documents about what is considered chargeable and not. But I don't think it's such a bad thing to go ahead and charge a tax and then pay the location that you're in.
Just my 2 cents. Tax laws are far too complex to make generalities, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a CA in a couple of different regions give us some advice on this, because governments get very unhappy when they don't think you're paying enough tax.
Yeah, so I know there's startups and companies that totally do this. They say, we know about everywhere in the world and we can handle all the customs tax and all that stuff. So there's like some major things. I think they probably are expensive enough that you have to be big to pay for them. But
to Learn's point, a lot of the online payment systems, like the one we use right now, we have PayPal and Amazon Pay, Amazon Web Pay, or Amazon something Pay. And part of their value add, the reasons why they say be our customer, use our pay service, is they do that for you. They determine if there should be a tax added, and they handle it and make it legal, and they give you a tax filing report at the end of the year that's ready to be sent in. In fact, PayPal, you can't even disable it. They're like, no, we will do taxes for you. So that's what allows them to skim with the percentage they take off versus you using another service. One day, I'm sure blockchain will get in on that action. In fact, there might be a blockchain provider that does that already. But right now, PayPal and Amazon Pay do that automatically, and they just take taxes. So if you buy a T-shirt from the Wikispeed web store, Amazon Pay or PayPal, whichever button you use, withholds tax. Yeah, that.
Again, I agree that if we err on the side of caution, we should just charge the tax. Also, Joe, I love your shirt.
Thank you, Chris Wallace. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Chris Wallace. Senna has a matching one, totally matching, same font. It's pink and her size. It says, "This is what an awesome daughter looks like." Folks, other crosstalk items?
It only because I flubbed up during the actual stand-up. I would like to share the demo of the tomorrow website launch. Are we good for that?
Do it.
Okay. Maybe if I hit the right button. Hold on just a second.
Is this the website page where when you load it, it shows a slow motion video of Chris Wallace and William Newing being lowered down from the ceiling wearing white fur tuxedos while it plays the final countdown with a smoke machine on and strobe lighting? Is that one?
It will be tomorrow.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Okay. It says I'm presenting to everyone, so let's hope I actually hit the right button. Oh, look at this. I'm already there. Okay, so this is going to be the new front page of the website that is agreed upon that I'm going to launch either tonight or tomorrow. There might be a little change in the menu structure there just to clean up some things, but I'll slow scroll over it so everyone can see it. And that's pretty much it. Very simple one-page design. The booking plugin has already been set. So this is the actual current site, and there's no link to this, but this is the booking page. The only difference will be that these things that are centered will not be centered once we do this. So we booked out events for the next 2 months, I guess you could say. One is leading right up to the WSXPO event. There will be a build party for individuals leading right into the day of the event that want to get hands-on Scrum and hardware experience. And then we think right now that all of the good stuff is ready. We think that actually.
Question, Chris.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah, Dr. Wallace, comment. This calendar page, in my opinion, that should be the home page.
Okay.
Now, I've got an opinion, and everybody's got them, and I've been wrong before. Well, actually, I don't know about that, but I think other people have been more right. But in my opinion, that's the home page. And then there's the top level nav, the floating nav that you and William were working on today. That's where people can learn about anything else, like the car or whatever else is important to them, whatever else Wikispeed is known for. Right, like one is the car. But that calendar page, that should be above the fold before they even scroll down. in my opinion.
I think I agree, and I'm trying to figure out how we're going to plug that idea into what we have right now. I don't disagree, but I know a little bit about the technical background of what we're doing.
I understand that situation.
So
okay, I'm game.
I'm going to take that to heart tremendously and see if there's something we can do about that.
Love it. Thank you for taking it under advisement.
Yeah, because currently the plugin has to have a button for the time being for us to click, and then here's the calendar, and then the pricing.
Well, it's a short code, and the front page doesn't allow a short code, so to be determined. I really like where you're going with that, and I want to make that happen. That might only be possible to make happen 1 week from today.
Love it.
Wow.
We'll get there.
Okay.
For reference, Mary and Tom Poppendick's site, I haven't been there lately. I haven't been there in a few years, which is silly of me because I really love them and respect what they do and should follow them much more closely than I have been. But long time ago, and maybe still now, their webpage landing was that. It was just a calendar that said taken, or traveling, or whatever it was, and then it would say book here on days that they wanted to work. And they've got their lives figured out, so they just pick days they want to work. But that's it. That's their homepage. And then below it is all the books they've written and then links for blogs and other stuff that they care about. But the first thing you see above the fold is, here's their calendar. Because that's the one thing they want you to interact with first, right?
Chris, could you make the homepage something like, a real super fast splash page that just automatically goes to the calendar page afterwards?
Right.
Just whips up the Wikispeed logo for a half a second and then goes bang into the other one.
Yeah. Again, I think I think actually it may be easier to put the calendar above everything else.
No, you're not.
The wheels are turning so hard in my brain right now to try to figure out how to make this possible. I think it is totally doable, and I almost think I know how far down into the PHP code I need to dive to do it. So, again, to be determined. And if I can keep up the pace that I did this week, I really think next week this could be completely done.
Well, I'm particularly impressed that you're a disembodied floating head now, so that's really good.
Chris, it looks really good.
Joe says it looks really good. And I figured it's that shirt of his. I was thinking about it earlier, Bruce. I'm like, man, it's just his head's floating again because the sun had already set. But I was like, that's right. For all y'all, the sun's already set. It's barely setting over here. So I'm actually marking that note right now in our Trello. The distributed team, Joe, have calendar to be the top thing on the site. Main page.
What if it's a picture of the calendar, and when you click on it, it takes you to the actual calendar?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. I think that is. I won't even have to relearn all of the PHPs.
I mean, we have a lot of ways to get in there. So I think the main thing that Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, is that he's suggesting we have the calendar as the main thing that people look at, so that way in the consumer's minds that, we probably want to book them fast. So it will psychologically, subconsciously move the person into clicking that calendar button, figure out, okay, how do I book that time now? Or, scroll through up and down, read through more about what Wikispeed's about, what they do, how does that benefit me, what do I need, does it meet all my needs, etc.
We meet all your needs. That's not even one of the questions.
Joe yesterday as he walks in the shop, you moved the shell back onto the car number 4. How did that happen? I was like, we meet all your needs.
Yes.
that tree stump, it still had half a tree in it.
Yeah, that thing was a lot heavier.
But there's a test dirt track that didn't exist like 2 weeks ago. So I mean, yes, we meet all of your needs.
And we're handsome.
Yeah, we're handsome. Right, Joe?
Right?
We have all sorts.
Yeah, maybe.
What else do you want? What else do you want from us? Chris, the page looks good.
The page looks good.
Alliterate it. It'll
Oh no, I did. I just have to point out that this is the most. This hangout is actually one of the most Scrum and Agile things ever because it's only going to get better. There's a releasable product that is going to be twice as awesome in half the time next week.
Yes.
This is too important. We might need to waterfall it.
No, we don't need a waterfall anything.
I'm never going to do that, Jeff. Never.
Never gonna do that.
It's too important to do it right.
Never waterfalling.
I want to wait to the end to test, though.
I'm so happy. I said, no. Let's test it out. Let's launch it. Let's bring it forth every time. Let's see if it breaks. And if it does, great. Let's figure it out.
It looks great. Like a G6.
Yes. Like a G6. I have now put the card in the website enhancement products. I'm going to make a copy of that, put it into the website Trello that I created so I can debug and figure out how the burn down for Trello works.
For what?
For trending. For what? It's too much. It's going to be between the Maps opt-in API link with it looks like Bruce's face on there and Michael Lochek's card of document prompts for password reset. Anything else, gentlemen? Any questions? Any proposed? Anyone?
If everyone can wait 30 seconds, I will totally go grab an AK so y'all can look at it.
You have an AK?
Hold on.
What? Why do you have? I mean, that's great. That is great.
Why didn't you have it at the table with you?
Yeah, already. Like, why do you just answer every video chat with? I mean, if you
What kind
got
of call
one,
is this?
that's the only reason you wouldn't have it is because you didn't have one. But if you have one,
You know, it's Texas. Come on.
oh,
It's too much.
place bets on if there's seashell insets into the stock and opal because it's Texas.
Oh, there it is.
What?
That raises above your head.
What? Yeah. What? Okay. Why do you have an AK? And that's fantastic. And what?
It was cheap several years ago. I don't know. It's got a collapsible stock. It's the Polish version that is supposed to be able to hold a grenade launcher.
Yeah. Right.
I also haven't used it in so long. I don't know how it works anymore. It's not loaded. by the way.
7.62 by 3.9.
It's 5.45 by 3.9. So smaller, like 22 size bullet.
Awesome. But still big cartridge, but smaller bullet. Yeah. I've got an AK 102, the modern composite one with a folding stock and a pop-out bipod, and it's chambered in 308 or 7.62 by 5.9. I wait, that doesn't sound quite right.
7.62 by 3.9. 3.9.
No, it's not 3.9. That's the standard
5.9?
AK round. No,
Really?
it's the medium range sniping round, and I mean they're big bullet. It sounds like an M90 in a pond every time you shoot. It's great. It's my camping gun.
Awesome.
So obviously this is America. And
I've got a katana. That's all I got.
You mention a firearm and everyone shows you theirs.
It's not the only one I own. So to answer Joe's question, the reason that I own one of those is I live in Texas.
Bruce got it.
So
Bruce wins the pot.
When I lived in Saskatchewan, we had at my wife's insistence, we had a Lee Enfield 303, which is the World War II gun.
Beautiful. Yep, I'm aware.
A Mark IV?
Listen to us, nerds.
I don't really know. It would hold 6 bullets or something like that. It had a clip, but I don't know like what model it was. It had a kind of a simple kind of a sight that you could flip up or lay down.
Yep. A gentleman's gun, as we like to call them. True or not?
It's no gentleman's gun.
I prefer a lightsaber.
Chris Wallace.
It's no gentleman's
Chris Wallace. No gentleman's gun.
It's true. Now I want to go watch Lord of War.
Why don't you do what I want you to do? Oh,
I just had to pull out the AK because Lauren had mentioned earlier that, the lower tolerances, more functional gun.
I mean, that's the engineering inspiration for so much of Wikispeed is an AK-47 or any of the AKs.
Yep,
A Kalashnikov
Exactly.
action. Yeah.
By the way, that's an AK-74 that I just showed you.
Yeah, I thought so. Not that I really know my AKs, I don't, but I did think so. And it looks great. It looks right out of Rambo First Blood Part 2. You're ready to just pick it up out of a rice paddy and shoot 12 people at once, no matter how many times they're trying to aim.
Okay. Awesome. Oh.
Other crosstalk issues, other topical crosstalk issues, because oh my gosh.
Any further logistics for those of us coming out for the expo that you want to expound on?
Oh, yes, Bruce, yes. So as of right now, the current Wikispeed site, its shop contact pages recommends area hotels with which we have negotiated discounts, so that's a good idea. I dig Airbnb, and the sharing movement is awesome anyway, so that's also cool, but if you want to do a hotel, that's fine. It also has mass transit options, how to get from the airport to Wikispeed without having to worry about a car at all. There's a light rail and then bus combo that'll work. It's not the fastest, but it works, and it's very cheap.
What kind of time does it take?
Then Lyft or Uber is very cheap from the airport now. They've got it figured out. It's like $45, and then you probably should give them a $5 tip through the app or whatever, so $50.
Yep.
Totally reasonable. Then there is limited bunking in the shop. Don't spread the word too wide or we'll overflow. But there is the ability to lay out a sleeping bag in the shop to just be really cheap and always be at the center of it. Now,
have you got a place I can put my hammock?
No. Wait, if it's a fold-out hammock that doesn't like screw eyelets into trees, then yes. But that's pretty nerdy. I would just bring a sleeping, whatever, man, whatever.
You were very technical on the hammock.
May I build a tinfoil geodesic dome next to the shop, because that's what I do when I travel anywhere.
Yes, we do have trees in the back. We may not recommend it because we did fight a swarm of bumblebees in one of the burlap pouches.
That was a thing. Yes.
Yeah, we're like
And large mosquitoes.
Lawyers, no.
Okay, guys, I gotta run.
Why?
All right, we'll talk to you next week.
Don't leave me.
All right, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Other logistics is it's going to be the time of our lives, so get your shit ready.
Yowza.
How's that for logistics? I think we're covered. I think that covers all the bases of logistics.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Does not sound bad. Yeah.
I've never not had a great time in the Linwood shop every time. Like, it makes me wonder what I'm doing every time I'm not in the Linwood shop.
I think about that every time I'm not in Burleson, Texas, which unfortunately is very often.
Never.
But I think about that because the Wallisinator is right there. We'll fix that impediment. So Bruce, come the heck on up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I guess Southwest has cheap flights, but we're a Delta hub and an Alaska hub. So there's plenty of flight options on either of those airlines, even plenty of directs
I
from
saw
everywhere.
JetBlue was pretty good, too.
JetBlue's a Boston hub, which is where you are, and so they have directs to almost everywhere if you leave from Boston. So yeah, they're fantastic for this flight.
Okay. Yeah, I may try to go out of Manchester, but I don't know. Either way.
Manchester.
for me.
Wow, that's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah,
talk.
Manchester is a nice airport.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah, I know. Go north to go west? What?
Who would do that?
Yeah, go in a straight line. Anybody know anything?
Well, plus it's such a tiny, cute little airport. It's like, oh, over there in Manchester.
With the accent, eh, Doc?
That's how it is. I was just near there. I went to Logan, but I thought seriously for 10 minutes about going to Manchester.
10 minutes.
In the countryside. Anne of Green Gables lives right over there by the runway. You can get biscuits. They tell me. Okay, so yes, Wikispeed stuff. Triple bonus points to anyone who brings their car. And the attempt of it, gosh, this was like written down forever ago, but I haven't updated any of it or socialized any of it. So I have not spread the word at all. But The idea is for it to be a mini fundraising event, so it's something like almost free for everybody. I don't know, $50. It's something almost free. I wrote it down. It's whatever that is. I don't want to change it because someone might have read it. But if anyone has ever made a car, it's a celebration of them. So of course they don't pay a damn thing, and we feed them. That's what everyone else's $50 or whatever it is goes to, is like giving them T-shirts and carrying them on a litter and spraying them with champagne, whether they bring their car or not. Triple super bonus points if they bring a car. So that's the idea. We'll at least have all the Linwood Shop cars here on display-ish, as in like you can see them, and we'll drive as many of them as are drivable. So we got at least one as of now. We'll see what happens. It'll be a hoot, and we'll totally play Forza. So yeah.
Joe, do you have any thoughts on the Train the Trainer being conjoined with that event?
Right.
Just
The week
to
before,
maximize time?
the week before is booked with a client, so it will not be the week before. The week after, first week of October, is still possible.
Okay.
I'm totally hesitant because it doesn't give many people notice enough.
Yeah.
I guess we'd have to make sure there's at least 15 signups, which is the trick. And I don't know if there's enough time to do that. I'm with
Yeah,
you.
it's
That's the
pretty
better
tight.
thing to do. If I'd planned it more in advance or actually done something about it more in advance, that'd be the right option.
Yeah.
So we'll totally do that next year. If we can think of 14 more definite maybes, then we can do it the first week of October. I mean, we could try soft marketing it and see what happens. What does anyone think?
I think that our process improvement is to tell a friend and a stranger this week. So why don't we give it a try?
Okay.
Why not?
And if you would like to be certified as a Scrum and Hardware coach by William Newing, Chris Wallace, and even that Joe Justice dude, if there's 15 people, it'll run. If not, if you even pay, because we don't even know about that yet, we'll refund you and all that. How about that?
Could do that.
We could
Why not?
attempt it.
How many days is it?
2 days.
2
Right.
days. Okay.
Yeah, 2
With a
days
third
and then
day.
and then a practicum and a client. And this time, I really do want to add 2 more days because the Extreme Manufacturing Black Belt that we ran forever ago does shop skills. And
Okay.
I think that's helped the coaches as much as anything else we've ever done, I think. So doing both in the same week and calling that the Train the Trainer and making it 5 days for the same price, I think we know how to do it. We already have the content. I mean, it's just 2 more days of my time. If it helps people that much, I think it's worth it. We've never done it that way. So we have some people that have gotten all the shop skills, and then some people that have gotten all the, I'll say, coaching skills. We haven't run both. Paul Tacken, I think, is the only person who's taken both. So he could say if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but I think it's a good idea. So I think it
Okay.
might be fine.
Sounds good to me. Hello, dog.
That is a dog.
He was giving yays for the idea.
Yay!
Okay.
So what's involved in the shop skills training? What do you cover?
Okay, white, yellow, blue, green, brown, black. So how to design and create and test well enough to put on a road legal car parts out of aluminum. That's step 1. So actually how to do it. So when you're at the client and they say, but we can't do that, we outsource all that, you can say, like I've said, whether it's the right thing to say or not, many times, well, why don't I just go over there and do it with your Scrum team? And they go, wait, you what? And it's great because you can. Like, this stuff is not the science of rockets. Then yellow is wet connections. So brake line, fuel line, coolant line, how to put those in, flange them, etc. Then all of a sudden you can work on pneumatics and most types of machinery. I mean, if you've got aluminum and wet connections, you're pretty good shape. Then blue is composites, laying up structural carbon fiber, high performance composites, designing molds, designing and producing well enough to put on a commercial vehicle. So we actually do that in class. And that's something I haven't done in this shop in way too long. A lot of people that have done Wikispeed stuff still haven't done that with me. And that's my background. You know, like from the TEDx talk, I took time off my day job and I went to composite school. That's a thing. And so I do that, and it's super easy, and people charge way too much. Like, that's a career in itself, just because people haven't learned how to do it. But it's like paper mache, a little bit more precise, but not much. There's like a few things you need to know, but not many. And we'll cover those in the class. Then green is electronics. A lot of people have done this already, or at least know about it. It's how to wire up and download code to an Arduino well enough to make it toggle relays, which is enough to turn a cruise control on and off, well enough to steer a car left or right autonomously, enough to apply brakes autonomously, and enough to fire airbags. I mean, it's pretty elementary technology under the hood to do that. So suddenly you can do a lot of pretty high-tech stuff just with that. White, yellow, blue, green. Then brown is you're a certified Scrum professional, CSM, CSPO, and you've gotten your CSD. So we don't do that in the Train the Trainer. We assume you already have. That's the prerequisite for the Train the Trainer. And if you get all those, you're a black belt. So that's the shop skills. And then the coaching skills are, what does Scrum Inc. do? And what do I do as part of Scrum Inc. every time before I go to a client? And then what do I do when I'm at a client? And then what do I do when I get back? So you know what I know. Whether or not you choose to do it, you know what I know about how Scrum Inc. coaches. Hardware clients specifically, but it's very, very similar for software clients too. So that's the other part. So we've run that class twice, three times. There's one in Europe, the coaching skills. Then the hard skills we did twice, but never in the same class. I think that's maybe the whole package, the best I know it so far. So there it is. And that's not written down anywhere. We probably should. Like, everyone's asking, what's the course description? I'm like, we should write one. But there it is verbally.
I'm almost positive, Joe, that after William posts this demo, that is going to be written down probably by me tomorrow.
Probably by Chris. You poor, poor man. But thank you.
Yeah, I could almost see just combining all of that as one kind of intermixed course, even instead of separating it out into hardware and coaching.
Oh, yeah. I think that's the idea. I'm with you. I agree. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Yes.
We could say goodnight and stay together.
Here, since we're showing stuff, I'll put my ukulele up there. There you go.
Yeah.
Not the engineering model of a Wikispeed car, but amazing. And you should bring that, because there's nothing cooler than after the shop day, people are going, yeah, and people are drinking their Coors Light or whatever it is that we're doing, and then someone pulls out an instrument that they can travel with, that they can play. Nothing better than that. So, yes.
I've convinced my family that my graduation present should be to repair my banjo. So maybe I can figure out how to get a banjo on a plane.
Did it get broken being thrown into the dumpster by them, or what?
It was sitting in a metal chair, and then it was still sitting in the exact same position, and no one has ever to this day fessed up to exactly what happened to it.
That is such a sad, sad story, Chris Wallace. Oh, no.
Yep. Someone dropped the accordion on it and broke them both.
Oh, that is awful. But yes, if a banjo appeared, there would be many a hoe laid down. Because they wouldn't be hoeing, they'd be dancing.
Yes.
Hopefully I wrote down this offset data somewhere so I don't have to measure it again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's in here somewhere.
Okay. Gentlemen.
All right.
Is there anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to attempt to go do dinner and likely a shower. Not in that order, because I'm covered in fine racetrack dirt powder.
Yeah, seriously, we have a talcum powder racetrack. Like you saw in the demo videos, it sets up rooster tails on all four wheels all the time. It's really cool looking. Like, we should shoot more video.
You could pretend that we were on the moon if you just slowed it down a little bit in the filming.
Yeah, like, this is unnaturally
Wikispeed
awesome.
has gone to the moon.
Wikispeed has gone to the moon.
Oh, okay. I should finally tell somebody. Chris, we need to hold this domain. Actually, I should say the domain name after we've held it and not on the recording. until we've held it. But there's a domain name we need to hold because of what Bruce just said.
Okay.
Okay.
It'll be on Slack to be
You're
sent.
good.
Okay.
I hope your clutch gets you home, William.
Oh, I hope so too. At least it'll be nice, fine dust powdered, and you know, I do have AAA, so I'll just run around and yeah. Thank you, Chris. All right. Well, thank you all,
Okay,
gentlemen,
night.
everyone.
See you next week.
Take care, gentle people.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.